Moin, a guide to making small talk in Germany. Let's get into it. I hate small talk. It's called the stop and chat. Anybody familiar with Larry David? Curb Your Enthusiasm. Hates the stop and chat. It's the worst. It's the worst. You don't want to run into somebody on the street that you kind of know. They're more of an acquaintance. It's like a person that you met at a party 2 years ago who's not your friend, but you recognize each other. There should be a mutual understanding that you can make eye contact and you can give a nod. You can do the like, right, the nod and kind of acknowledgement, like that. I just like to do that. I don't want to stop. I don't want to shake your hand. I don't want to talk about things with you. I want to get about. I got things to do, places to go. Let's see what Rachel has for us. A guide to making small talk in Germany. Meet the Germans.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. How are the kids? They're fine? Oh, great. Yeah, we must catch up sometime. Call me.
No.
Small talk. The Germans don't even have their own word for it. A German-English dictionary describes it as oberflächliche Konversation, or superficial
Oberfläche Konversation.
conversation. Ouch.
It is superficial conversation. However, it is a skill that you need to have, like, within the workplace, I suppose. There is situations where you're just trying to be friendly and you need to make some sort of small talk. You're not going to be getting into a deep conversation in the lunchroom when you wander in and, there's an employee sitting there. It's nice if you can talk about something that, keeps it from being that awkward silence. It's nice, right?
Germans do get very perplexed when English speakers greet them in the street with a "How's it going?" and then walk on by without actually expecting an answer. But that doesn't mean the Germans don't have their own version of small talk. The key difference is that when Germans engage in chit-chat, they want facts, they want numbers, they want statistics. Say you arrive somewhere by car. Elsewhere, people might casually ask how the journey was and not really care about the answer. But a German won't let you get away with that.
Okay, what the hell was that driving? What's going on there?
Sticks. Say you arrive somewhere by car. Elsewhere, people might casually ask how the journey was and not really care about the answer. But a German won't let you get away that easily. They'll ask how long the drive took and how many roadworks you came across. They'll ask you which route you took and expect you to answer with accurate road names and even motorway exits. If your journey was long enough, they might even whip out one of their favourite questions. How much did it cost to fill up your tank? It's just a thing here. When Germans return from holiday, they'll be eager to tell you about
$42 Canadian.
three things: the beaches, the food, and the gas prices. You should always do some basic research before entering a social situation in Germany. Be prepared to talk about news and politics, but you should also have some numbers up your sleeve, like how many inhabitants does your hometown have? Oh, and if you get onto the topic of where you live, your German conversation partner will want measurements, as in how big is your apartment, in square meters. For bonus points, be ready with the average price per square meter of living space in your area of the city. They'll lap that up. Okay.
This seems like a lot of pressure. I'm not going to have any of those answers.
Let's see how good the Germans are at German small talk.
1,33 der Diesel, 1,52 super. Im Moment so 1,40.
Es schwankt gerade ein bisschen.
Circa 1,50 der Liter super. 60 Quadratmeter.
Die Wohnung,
73,6 Quadratmeter.
Think in these types of situations, is the person going to call you out on your fact, or are they going to fact check you? So I could give answers, but they're not necessarily going to be exact. But, hey, you got to fake it. You got to make it until you fake it. Fake it until you make it. Make it until you fake it. I don't know, however that phrase goes. Fake it until you make it. There you go.
das sind so 1,5 Zimmer mit einem Balkon,
160 Quadratmeter.
circa 200 Quadratmeter, etwas über 70 Quadratmeter,
1 Million.
knapp über eine halbe Million.
12.000.
342.000.
Das kleine Dörfchen, das hat mit uns zusammen 720 Einwohner.
There's another very important topic that you have to master in order to small talk in Germany. As a Brit, I thought I had this topic down, but it turns out the Germans can give us a run for our money. I'm talking about the weather. Specifically complaining about the weather. It's too hot, too cold, too wet, too snowy. It's too weathery. The word for susceptibility to the weather is Wetterfühligkeit, and the Germans will blame the changing weather for all sorts of ailments.
There's no bad weather, only bad clothing.
And a final tip for German small talk. Practice your draft chat. In whatever context,
Draft
be it
chat?
at a party or in the office, Germans
What is this?
absolutely love to talk about drafts and the various stages of airing a room. A classic scene. One German walks into the room and says, "Boah, here's a stickig," or "It's sticky in here." They decide it's time to kurz luften, or give the room an airing. Then someone else will invariably walk in and say, "Oh, es zieht." That means there's a draft. They'll wrap a scarf pointedly round their neck, grumble about getting ill, and close the window. German windows even have a special airing position. The hinge technology must be really strong to cope with the constant opening and closing. So you see, German small talk is easy, really. Drop the niceties, know
I do want one of those windows.
your numbers, and have a strong opinion on air circulation. See you next time. Auf Wiedersehen.
Interesting. See you next time. Auf Wiedersehen. Yeah. Germans, they want numbers, she says. They want road names. They want how long it took. Which exit did you take? And you better be accurate. How many square meters is your apartment? All of these little things. I wouldn't necessarily have... I mean, I know the square footage of my apartment. Or my house. I know the square footage. I know the... What else? The hometown. It's just like the census... Like, where are they getting their census information? It's not necessarily 100% accurate. We've had a lot of people moving to my area in the last few years. And the population is definitely growing quite a bit. Take Vancouver, for example. Like, Metro Vancouver area, I think is about 3 million? I don't know, let's see. But Vancouver, like Vancouver itself, I think is only about 600,000. And that's just, like, the actual city. So, Metro... Vancouver population 2.6 million in 2021. So it's going to be quite a bit more than that now. Maybe 2.7, 2.75, I don't know. There's also people leaving the Lower Mainland because it's just so bloody expensive to live there. It's kind of like this exodus. How many Asians live in Metro Vancouver? Chinese Canadians, 500,000. Yeah, a lot of Chinese, specifically in Richmond, is very, very Chinese Canadians. Yeah, there's a lot of Chinese in Metro Vancouver, specifically in Richmond. But what's the population of Vancouver itself? Vancouver population, 706,000. So there you go. Falls behind Seattle. Calgary is 1.4 million. Yeah, but that's, I believe that's a different. The populations are still comparable because the metro area is 2.6. Vancouver is more than Calgary. Yeah. All right.